So today I'm going to make a matching pendant to match this earring. Customer brought in an earring and they said, can you make a pendant using my old gold? So I said, sure. I measured everything out and started cutting out the wax. So now they're the same size and I start filing the outside to make it as smooth as possible. And then I put in the different lines where I'm going to be carving the angles on the wax. It's almost like the yellow brick road, right? So it goes from the different angles. So using that rounded burr, I'm cutting out the inside angle, and then I have to tip it to fit the outside angle. And we just keep curving it and curving it. I see where there's a few points that I need to still work on. So I start carving then. So the next thing I do is I take a round ball burr so I can try to cut the angles as best as possible, trying to complement it. The angles can't be as angled as the gold earring because the gold earring is puffed and this is contoured. It's not flat. If I make it solid like that on the back, then it will weigh too much. So right now, we just want the top to match it, and on the back we'll be able to cut out some of the space to reduce the weight. Now I'm using steel wool, and steel wool will take out any of the file marks and get it as close as possible to a finished piece. I'm signing it, as you can see. I always want to put my signature in there, and it is 14 karat gold. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cast it, and that's called investment. It looks like plaster of Paris. Basically what we do is we add some water to it and then pour that over the flask. And by doing that, it hardens like a rock. Then we can put it in the oven, and over the next 8 hours, we'll increase the heat up to 2,000 degrees. During that time, the wax will actually melt out, and it leaves a hollow space where the wax once was. That's called the lost wax process. Now I'm pouring in the gold, getting ready to take the flask out of the oven. And the gold is in that hole and it is melting. We've got it up to 1,800 degrees. You can see the flask is red hot, and then we'll put it underneath and I will release it, and there's the button, which is the end of the gold. So we know the whole flask filled with gold, and the extra that we had is left over right there. When we submerge it into water, the investment explodes and leaving the gold. Now the piece on the left, that's the unfinished casting. That's what it looks like when it comes out. So then all we have to do is file it and sand it and buff it, and then it comes nice and shiny. So right now we buffed it and we have it in the ultrasonic. I'm steaming it off, and then we get to take a look. Look at that. Now we have to polish the earring to make it look as good as the pendant.